The Lord wants all his children to partake of the eternal blessings available in his temple. He has directed what each person must do to qualify to enter his holy house. All requirements to enter the temple relate to personal holiness. To assess that readiness, each person who wants to enjoy the blessings of the temple will have 2 interviews. First, with a bishop, bishopric counselor, or branch president. Second, with a stake or mission president or one of his counselors. In those interviews, several questions will be asked. Some of those questions have recently been edited for clarity. I would like to review them for you now. Are you a full tithe payer?
The mandate given by the First Presidency and the presiding bishopric is to only focus on financial growth. EPA employees are told that the money will be used after the second coming of Jesus Christ or during Armageddon right before he would come again.
One of our brethren some years ago spoke of the payment of tithing as fire insurance. Nonetheless, the word of the Lord is clear that those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming. For that shall be a day of judgment, a day of sifting, a day of separating the good from the evil. I would venture a personal opinion that no event has occurred in all the history of the earth as dreadful as will be the day of the second coming, as fraught with the destructive forces of nature, as consequential for the nations of the earth, as terrible for the wicked, and as wonderful for the righteous.
Brethren and sisters, we will now put you under covenant to obey and keep the law of sacrifice as contained in the Holy Scriptures. And as Jesus Christ has laid down his life for the redemption of mankind, so we should covenant to sacrifice all that we possess, even our own lives if necessary, in sustaining and defending the kingdom of God. Each of you bring your right arm to the square. You and each of you solemnly covenant and promise before God, angels, and these witnesses at this altar that you will observe and keep the law of sacrifice as contained in the Holy Scriptures as it has been explained to you. Each of you bow your head and say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Travis Wayne Goodsall. So, as my tithing videos for Groundhog Day. Didn't you just do this video, Travis? This sounds like you just did this video. I know how to milk a good thing when I see it. And because this destroys the church, any Mormon still remaining a Mormon, even if you purposely didn't study your whole life and now all of a sudden you're finding out, oh crap, tithing is a crime, you need to leave the church. But instead, we have Mormons, even after YouTube and other social media were in Congress for a hearing for murdering girls by bullies. And here Mormons are bullying me, trying to get me to commit suicide, like they've successfully done with teenage girls, I guess. And trying to get me to deny Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon and the learning of the Jews. As apparently they're okay with the church being a criminal operation. And they've participated in that. They are aiding and abetting. They are complicit by not leaving the church, by not reporting the church of their crimes. That's the whole Helaman chapter 6. Secret band of Gadian. Let everybody get away with their crimes. And thus was the downfall of the Nephites because of the secret combination. Mormons know this. They go at the pulpit of the Rameumptum every fast and testimony meeting of church, which is Sunday. And say, I feel the Book of Mormon is true. No, you don't say that, do you? You say you know. You don't know if you just feel. But nonetheless, all of a sudden you're shocked when I come out with the Book of Mormon passage. What? You're wrong, Travis. The Book of Mormon is wrong. You're twisting the scriptures. I quoted it. That's not our doctrine, Travis. That's satanic. You're insane. You're retarded. You're of the devil. You're an anti-Mormon, antichrist whore. Go pick on your own church. Your wife was a prostitute to take care of your laziness. Why, Mormons? Why? You're just proving my point. You're evil. These comments prove my point. You're evil. You have no desire to be good. You have no desire to say, no, Travis, the church is true. Let me help you understand the scriptures correctly. Nope, you can't do it, so you attack me. So, we have a Jasmine comment. I'm struggling to get used to the new normal of Jasmine. It's very hard and emotional for me. I need Kleenex. And so the missionaries came by, or they cornered them when they went to go visit the new convert. Because James and Jasmine are not Mormon. They're studying the Book of Mormon and the scriptures, going to the Joseph Smith papers. They are smart enough to go, wait a minute. Missionaries are saying this. The actual documents are saying this. And so they're simply asking questions. Not like that Jeremy Runnels guy, the CES director letter. He was telling him. That's not a question, Jeremy. If you're going to call it a question, you kind of have to have question marks at the end of your sentences. And it would also help if you didn't copy and paste from Gerald and Sandra Tanner's Mormonism, Shadow or Reality. Yep, there it is. Breaking news, guys. The CES letter by Jeremy Runnels is plagiarized. And it's okay. Nobody from Saints Unscripted are watching my videos, so they'll never use it against you. As I'm sure you're not watching me either. And so James and Jasmine know nothing about the church, except what they're now learning, since the missionaries came a knocking on their door. And they botched it at the beginning, because James is black. And so one of the missionaries did an oopsie slip and said, "You were a fence sitter in the premortal council in heaven." So when should we schedule your baptism? racist anymore. Not since 1978. I have a friend who's black. You people just need to calm down. Just stop. Stop. The hole is getting too big. We'll never be able to pull you out. The powder. Oh my God. That's why this is so emotional for me about the new normal that James and Jasmine are setting for me. I miss their comments. Wow. And I never did get a reply as to whether or not Jasmine kicked Sean's butt on Wednesday. Anyway, alrighty. And so, yeah, Jasmine's thing was she had found Section 101 in the Joseph Smith Papers from the 1835 Doctrine and Covenants. I'm so proud of her. So proud. So perfect in every way. I can't get it through to Jasmine. She just refuses to believe she's perfect. And so, yeah, the missionaries can't compete against the truth from documents of Joseph Smith and in the Book of Mormon. So they gave up on him and only go over to visit the convert next door. And so that's when James and Jasmine goes out to meet them. Kicking those pricks. That is probably the most common joke among abusive Mormons. I don't even know if I can even count the number of times it's been used on me. Oh, man. And so 2 Corinthians 9, 6 through 7 is what James and Jasmine attacked the missionaries with. Oh my God. What was it again? 6 through 7. Okay. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he that soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Simple math formula. Although, well, the first time around you get surprised at how much you actually get to reap, because you think that it might not be that much, and then, oh wow, we're never going to finish all this. Every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. Okay? Real simple. Easy breezy cover girl. Or maybe his Maybelline. Yep, SNL is back. This was our point to the missionaries. Yeah, the missionaries are supposed to give freely, not expect anything in return. Like baptism. We remember this one a lot because while it was occurring, they were actually sweating. I was the only one who was poor on my mission. Everybody else got extra money from home. Seriously, too many mission stories and nobody cares to hear. The one I just did has 53 views in 8 hours. So yeah, nobody cares about my mission stories. As they were leaving, they commended James for how he is really trying to understand the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yeah. As they humiliated themselves and are now leaving. This is exactly the same response that the church did to Gerald and Sandra Tanner. Mormonism, Shadow of Reality. Gerald and Sandra Tanner got involved in collecting original church history documents. They found them, photocopied them, put them in a book, plastered their Christian beliefs over the top of it as annotation, showing that obviously Joseph Smith was not a Christian, but didn't care to say, hey, this sounds more Jewish. But regardless, they were a big thorn in the side of the church. The church finally, after all these decades, have succeeded in destroying Sandra Tanner. They kicked her out of her home. She's got to go live somewhere else for retirement, and the Utah Lighthouse Ministry is now closed. The online purchasing of books may still be available, she said. I haven't checked. I've already got everything I need from them. But, the church finally did them in. And if you're going, what? How? What? I didn't hear this in the news. The baseball stadium? Yeah, she lived right across the street. And so all the problems there, the church purposely forced the city to make sure it was done to chase Sandra Tanner out of their home and stop the ministry, to punish them, even though the church already came out with the Joseph Smith Papers, which is exactly what Gerald and Sandra Tanner were doing. The church holds a grudge forever. They will destroy you at some point in time. And so, I'm always having to watch, okay, when's the church going to attack me again? When's the next time? And YouTube is its normal attacking with cyber terrorism that I had earlier this week. But usually the church also pulls another stunt, like ordering my brother to attack me or get fired from his job. Did you miss that one last year? I just got freed from the shelter of Gail Miller, who was ordered to hold me hostage in the shelter, as a prisoner in the shelter, to murder me in the shelter. We were all sick. We were all dying. That shelter needs to be shut down. Dear God, it is a health violation, it is a criminal violation, and it's all a money laundering operation. Dear God. And nobody cares about the homeless. But, I got free. Here I am. And the two girls that helped me fired. And so because they failed, they then sicked my brother on me. And, well, that was an easy one. Oh, the church threatened you to do this. Oh, lawyer for my brother, did you not see what you yourself typed out and sent me? Yeah, that was an easy breezy cover girl, or maybe it's Maybelline issue. This is what the church does. They hold grudges, they seek and destroy, because they are a criminal organization. They cannot be good. They don't want to be good. They want to be bad. Make bad feel so good. And not in that way, because they're against porn. I think she did Playboy, didn't she? Samantha Fox, didn't she do Playboy? Hold on, Jasmine. We've got a porn issue we need to deal with. It's far more important. Yep, Fox left. Page 3, 1986, age 20, to focus on her singing career. She made occasional glamour modeling appearances later in her career, including a nude photo shoot for the October 1996 issue of Playboy magazine when she was age 30. I wonder, October 96, I had just moved to Utah. I was just a couple more months, a few more months away from deciphering Paleo-Hebrew. October 1996, Playboy. There it is. $7 used. Apparently, it's Prime is $20, which I think they're all $20 except for maybe some of the specialty ones. But yeah, it's over. Yeah, Samantha Fox, British rock sensation Samantha Fox. The girls of the big college sex riot, safe and plenty of it. Oh, hot and safe. It's too small. It's too small. Yep. Oh, pigskin, perfect for Groundhog Day. Even though groundhog is a rodent. The pigskin preview. For those of you women who don't know what that is, that's a football. Okay, where were we, Jasmine? Now that we got that important business matter out of the way. As they were leaving, let's see, James was asking, okay. Anyway, James has told them about asking his parents about the collection plate in their church. His mom told him they had a collection plate to get money to pay the bills for the church and get supplies, cleaning stuff, books, etc. James asked if the Mormon Jesus Christ died for our sins and salvation of his own free will, why would he need to pay the church 1/10 of our earnings to make it up to be with him? Yeah, that's the extortion racket. Criminal operation. If Jesus atoned, so we don't have to, why do we have to? With tithing, section 119. And so, yeah, good question. Where does it say that in the Bible? The missionaries won't be able to find it. And you won't find it in the Book of Mormon. You won't find it among Joseph's actual documents, because section 119 is forged. It's just so frustrating that both Mormon and critic both believe that somehow Joseph Smith completely changed and went off his rocker in 1838 to become this completely different person with a completely different church and a completely different name. And Mormons are okay with it. Critics aren't. They both got different feelings on the matter. Before they could answer, he continued by saying that he knew the Old Testament references, but where does that say that tenth is for Jesus? They didn't even know his name is in the Old Testament. So how could that be? Book of Jesus. It's after Deuteronomy. He's the warrior Christ. Goes and slays people. I don't see any Biden condemning Jesus for slaying the Palestinians. God. And you understand this? Biden's doing this to cater to the progressive base. The same reason why Anna Kasparian and Chen Cougar are catering to their progressive base. They have to condemn Israel for being the victim because their base is Islam. And that's what pisses me off about Biden. He's our president. He's not supposed to pander to every whim that gets upset with him because they're terrorists. He should be locking them all up. God. Islam is a terrorist group organized by the big terrorist himself who thinks that he's the man like Moses, replacing the Jews. And nobody wants to go back to the origin of Islam to understand why there's a problem in the Middle East. Nobody wants to understand why Christians are cheering for blood in Israel because they don't want to admit that it's all about their belief in Jesus coming. God. After all these millennia of the Jews getting persecuted and chased around for just living in the land, people just won't stop until they're exterminated. They gave you your scriptures, and you thank them by trying to genocidally murder them from the face of the earth in existence. And so, yeah, those West Bankers attacked the settlers. They're defending themselves. Oh, but no, Islam is protesting. Oh, Biden, get them. How dare they defend themselves like Israel is defending themselves against Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran and Syria and so, yeah, Biden is trying to be a fence sitter. He's trying to be lukewarm. Do you know that one? What does Jesus do to somebody who's lukewarm? Spews him out. I would that you were hot or cold. God, it just pisses me off that people are so evil and that other people cave, just like Avraham Gileadi did to the church. Got a whole bunch of people who cannot stand for the truth. They cave when they're threatened by terrorism. And our own president is caving to terrorist demands. He's Pehorin. I'm Captain Moroni. I came to him and said, hey, take care of your armies on the front lines. I am well aware of the kingmen because you didn't notify me of them. You need to take care of the kingmen. Nope. He's panhandling to them. And America has fallen. And so the day that shall burn as an oven is coming. Okay. And that's when they read 2 Corinthians and asked them to show him the 10th reference. Find it. Find a 10th. Find a tithe. Okay. There's 52 in all of Scripture, which includes Mormon scriptures. The one in Genesis 14 is not tithing, it's actually tribute. And so I'm not going to check the Hebrew word on that one. All the tithe of the land, whether the seed of the land or the fruit of the land, is the Lord's, out of his tithes. 31. So Leviticus 27, 30 to 32. Let's check the word on that one. Blue Letter Bible. Leviticus 27. Westminster Leningrad Codex. All right. Paleo-Hebrew is a visionary language, so you see the meanings. It is not phonetic. Oops. Oh, wait a minute. No, it is 30. And all tithe. Interesting. Yeah. Consistent. You see, there was this false prophet named Russell Marion Nelson who got up at the pulpit of his general conference, claimed that he had been studying all about the gathering of Israel, thought he knew no better then than he knows now. And he then talked to some BYU professors who are apparently teaching Hebrew. I feel sorry for the students who think they now know Hebrew. because he would then go on to make the biggest blunder of all existence, botching the translation of the name Israel. And here it is. Tithe contains Israel. Wow. So I won't go into detail with it because I'd have to then teach you Paleo-Hebrew and all that stuff. But just understand, this is awesome. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. And there's seed. I know seed. That's one of the things that helped me recognize the pattern that was going on in Paleo-Hebrew vocabulary. Is the word for seed. It contains the sun in Egyptian transliterated into Paleo-Hebrew. Ra. And so, yeah, because that's how I found out about prefix determinatives and suffix determinatives, was running this test on the vocabulary. And so it has the Z before it, which is the creation story. Waters parted, dry land appears. Inundation of the Nile, creation, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I do see. That is seed. Creation of Yah. Even the Paleo-Hebrew tells you God is a human being. Seed. Blessed is he through whose seed Messiah shall come. The birthright and the blessing. Jacob is now the seed through which the Messiah shall come. Not Esau. And yet, nobody wants to believe in the Jews. Screw the Jewish Christ. Jesus. Immaculate. No seed. So, cool. Where were we? Free will, 10th, what does it say in the Bible? Old Testament, the name, 2 Corinthians, they stated that their sharing the gospel is not about making money. Yes, it is. But spreading the seed. Liken the word unto a seed. Spreading the word, spreading the seed. Along the wayside, obviously. Oh, dear God, missionaries. They just keep digging that hole deeper, don't they? Let me get the actual definition for you so that you believe me. We don't believe you, Travis. You're making it up. A pyramid scheme. A form of investment in which each paying participant, what did Nelson change the name of Mormon membership to? Recruits two further participants. It doesn't have to be two, just more. Which, with returns being given to earlier participants. using money contributed by later ones. So let's go over the mission again. I did it too. My parents paid for it though, not me. So my parents are guilty of the pyramid scheme. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are the capstone of the pyramid. Everything trickles up to them. They convert. People join the church by missionaries. Missionaries have to pay for their mission. Paying participants. The Mormons who go on a mission also pay the church. Tithing. Hello? Groundhog Day, remember? Perfect timing for this. Perfect. And Mormons go out, they pay for it. Yeah, there's the church fund, but people have to donate into it. Church isn't going to pay for it for you. It's a criminal racket. Every source of income is a criminal racket. The whistleblower exposed all this. And you go out and you recruit. Doesn't matter if you call it convert or you don't really convert, Travis. They convert themselves. Doesn't matter. What do they have to now do as a new recruit to the church? James and Jasmine knows because they've got a neighbor who just joined. They've got to pay tithing. The missionaries are paying participants in the church. They went on their mission and recruited James and Jasmine's neighbor, who now pays the church tithing. Pyramid scheme, by definition. And there's a parenthesis here after investment. Illegal in the United States and elsewhere. They could have just said illegal all over the world. It's a criminal racket. You can't do this. And yet, every single Mormon are guilty of crime. Why aren't you leaving? You are now complicit in crime. The church is a criminal operation. By definition of the law codes. Do I need to go over Helaman chapter 6 again? You're going against your country and your God. You're keeping it a secret, protecting the church. Don't tell me I'm the bad guy. Don't tell me you're the victim. You're lying to me. You know I know this. Because you are preaching a gospel that has nothing to do with Mormonism, yeah, they can read the Book of Mormon. No priestcraft. No protection racket. No crime. And Joseph Smith likewise. And all about Christianity, which is not what your original church started out to be. They can read 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 2 and go, hey, that's not the subtitle, another testament of Jesus Christ. Different religion. Learning of the Jews. Why aren't you figuring it out, Mormons? I am sure there was more than that in between. What we remember. Were we wrong? Oh, Jasmine, you're perfect in every way. I would come out there and force you to understand you're perfect. If I could only get out there. You're wrong about being imperfect. You're perfect. That's what the church does to Joseph Smith. He's wrong. We have to correct him. We need to edit his work. He's incorrect. Our founder is wrong. He needs to be corrected. But we're thankful. Now, dear God, I can't help Mormons. They don't want to be helped. They want to be criminal. And the church throws you under the bus when you get caught. The devil never supports his own. So, thank you, Jasmine. I look forward to hearing your next comment. How many more weeks from now? I gotta get used to the new normal. This is too emotional for me.